Teacher Talking Sports, what it does, what it do, how we live. And let's continue this series I've been doing where I attempt to name the best player in each NFL franchise's history, their all-time GOAT. I've been doing these in alphabetical order, and today we land on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have been a franchise since 1933, have only been known by that name. They have 92 seasons of NFL action. So to name just one player as the best through 92 years isn't easy, but I attempt to do so. Now, 2 off seasons ago, I did my NFL Mount Rushmores by teams, the 4 best players in each franchise's history, in my eyes. Last off season, I did my NFL Mount Rushmores by position, 4 best players each position, NFL history. So before I get into the GOAT with all of these, I've been revisiting the Mount Rushmore, deciding if I would make any changes. So, in alphabetical order for the Eagles, I have Chuck Bednarik, Hall of Famer, 8-time Pro Bowler, Hall of Fame All 1950s team, often played both sides of the field. Brian Dawkins, safety, inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2018, intercepted 34 passes with the Eagles. Steve Van Buren, Hall of Fame All 1940s team, led the league in rushing 4 times. And Reggie White, historic pass rusher, one of the greats at the defensive end position. Those are my 4 on the Mount Rushmore. Some honorable mentions include Jason Peters, Jason Kelsey, Pete Metzlaff, Trey Thomas, Mike Quick, Harold Carmichael, Ron Jaworski, Tommy McDonald, Brian Westbrook, Zach Ertz, and Donovan McNabb, to name a few. So, to name the best player of all time, who do I think it is in Philadelphia Eagles history? I'm going to go with the Minister of Defense, defensive end Reggie White. White was the 4th overall pick in the 1984 NFL Supplemental Draft by the Eagles, inducted into the Hall of Fame first ballot in 2006. Now, he played 15 seasons altogether in the NFL, the first 8 of which came with the Eagles, but he was so good in those 8 seasons, I named him as the best player in franchise history. White was named Defensive Player of the Year in 1987 with the Eagles. He also had Defensive Player of the Year finishes of 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 8th. Let's take a look at his season by season numbers via his Pro Football Reference page. So, again, first 8 seasons with the Eagles, 124 sacks. Teacher in me says, boo boo. That's 15 and a half sacks per season. While with Philadelphia, he recovered 2 fumbles for touchdowns, had 2 interceptions with Philadelphia as well. As you see, led the league in sacks back-to-back seasons, 87 and 88. Each of his seasons with the Eagles, he totaled at least 11 sacks, 13, 18, 21, 18, 11, 14, 15, and 14, which is why he had a substantial amount of sacks in his 8 seasons. Forced fumbles wasn't a stat first year, but 18 over the following 7 seasons, 11 fumble recoveries. Just a guy who completely dominated opposing offensive linemen. He had 6 of his 8 seasons where he played all 16 games, was a first team All Pro, 6 straight seasons from 86 to 91, named to the Pro Bowl each of his last 7 seasons with the Eagles. In 5 postseason games with the Eagles, he sacked the quarterback 4 times now, counting his time in Green Bay and Carolina, 198 sacks. That's the 2nd most in NFL history, only behind Bruce Smith, who finished with 200. When I did my Mount Rushmore of defensive ends, I believe I've definitely included White. I believe I included him with Bruce Smith, Deacon Jones, and Gino Marchetti. There you go. Old timer with the Baltimore Colts. But Reggie White, arguably the best pass rusher in NFL history. and he was actually at his most productive with the Eagles. A lot of people do remember his time with the Packers, especially since he won a Super Bowl with the team, also was a Defensive Player of the Year once with them as well. But again, actually at his most productive with the Eagles. This was a hard one, but in the end, I go Reggie White. Let me know in the comments if you agree. If you disagree, who do you think is the best Philadelphia Eagles player of all time? Now, with all of these, I take a look at the active roster and decide if anyone really has a chance to overtake the GOAT or at least find their way on the Mount Rushmore. Jalen Hurts finished as runner up for MVP in 2022, but he's got a long way to go to even be considered for the Mount Rushmore. Otherwise, Devonta Smith off to a great start in his first 3 seasons. A.J. Brown has been mighty productive in his first 2 seasons with the Eagles, but again, long way to go for those guys. A guy like Dallas Goedert, maybe I could consider him as an honorable mention. Um, on the defensive side of the ball, guy like Hassan Reddick was putting up great sack numbers. He got traded to the Jets. A lot of young players. I believe Jalen Carter finished as runner up for Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. Um, but yes, basically, there are some young, talented guys on this team, but there is a long way to go before they could be even considered for the Mount Rushmore. But again, let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with the Mount Rushmore? Who is your best Philadelphia Eagle of all time? Stay tuned for tomorrow. It's going to be another challenging team, the storied Pittsburgh Steelers. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.